Ah, Smart Water. Pure, crisp taste.
That's really good water.
It's the kind of water that says, I have my life together.
I do feel more sophisticated.
Smart Water. For those with a taste for taste. Grab yours today.
Anyone can follow. It takes something special to be an original. Which is why the 2025 Lincoln Navigator SUV arrives with new ways of surrounding you in luxury, including the ultra-wide 48-inch panoramic display and the multi-sensory Lincoln Rejuvenate experience. A true original never stops evolving. So meet the 2025 Navigator, the original that's all new and better than ever. Learn more at Lincoln.com. Lincoln and Navigator are trademarks of Ford or its affiliates.
It's the Joe Concha Tunnel to Towers Foundation Sunday morning show. Now, here's Joe Concha.
Sorry, I'm doing like a yum on the air. My wife makes the best eggs, and I try to do the same thing, and they're horrible. Like, it's eggs. It shouldn't be a hard thing. She's adding something. I don't know what it is. We're going to bring in Meghan McCain right now, has the popular Meghan McCain podcast, of course, former Fox News colleague of mine. Meghan, who's the better cook in your household? Is it Ben Dominique, who sounds like a chef, or yourself?
It's Ben. It's so funny you say that about eggs because he was out of town for work this week, and I made eggs for the girls, and they hated it. They were like, "We want Daddy's eggs." So I feel this pain for you. He's a fantastic cook. I actually always think he should have been a chef. So, he's a much better cook than I am.
So this is a thing where half the marriage can only do eggs and the other half just can't. My kids say the same thing. They're like, we want mommy's eggs. So I don't. Wow. All right. I got to figure this out. It's crazy. How are your kids, by the way? I should ask. Are you going to have a third? Remember, I pressured you to have kids for years and get married for years, and you resisted me. Now I'm like the annoying aunt who wants like 9 kids. So kid number 3 on the way. Let's break some news here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like 7 months pregnant, so it's not a secret. I look really pregnant. I'm really fat right now. So yeah, like it's not a secret, but yeah, you really should take credit for my marriage and having kids, because you did tell me early on when I was like just dating Ben that we should get married. And I remember being like, I think this guy's kind of crazy. Like, what? I mean, we just started dating, but yeah, it was like a weird time when Trump was first getting nominated, and we were all like in the convention and whatever, and it's a great time. But yeah, 3 kids. You have 2. Why did you guys not have 3?
I regret that, and we're hypocrites, Meghan, because I'm the youngest of 3. My wife is the youngest of 3. We absolutely should have had at least 3. Her sister has 4. I don't know. We had a boy and a girl, and it just seemed like, all right, we're good. But I'm convinced my super sperm, and she's Irish. She borrows my toothbrush and gets pregnant. It's a very easy thing to do. I should have done that. Like, you're Irish as well. So that's that. Do we know the gender? Do we want to share that, or we're going to keep that off the record, as they say?
It's a boy.
Oh, good for you.
No, it's a boy.
Do you have a name picked out?
I know. I don't know when we don't agree on any names. Like, there's not one name that we both like. And having kids is amazing. And, like, I think it's, like, wonderful, and I love it. But I also, I know there's some people that don't want kids, and that's fine too. So I'm always just like, everybody live your life the way you want to. But yeah, I'm very excited, and I'm 40. So, being 40 and being able to get pregnant, they say like, your fertility gets weaker and all these things. And so we just feel like really lucky and blessed, obviously.
Wow. Well, congratulations on that again. Actually, let's talk about that. I'm going to make this more podcasty than anything else, like having a conversation, just going in a completely different direction than I wanted to. But in 1965, I wrote a column about this recently for the Washington Examiner. The average household, a man, woman, family, they would have 3 kids on average. We're now down to about 1. What's with the younger generation resisting having kids and getting married in general? Because that seems to be more and more of a trend. Are they actually listening to AOC, where she says the world's going to end by 2031, so why bring a kid into a world that's going to end anyway because of climate change? I mean, is that having an impact? Or is it just social media has kept people more isolated, perhaps, and therefore they don't get out as much, therefore don't meet people, therefore don't get married, don't have kids? I don't know.
Yeah, and the data actually shows that there's a real split politically, depending on which party you identify with. So I'm sure you're shocked by that. Like, Republicans tend to have more children and get married younger. And I just think it's, more emphasis on family, more emphasis on community, faith, whatever. And I don't know. I just know it's horrifying and interesting. I think everyone should have children if they can, because it's so fun. I wish someone had told me how fun it is. I was so fearmonger before I had kids. I remember like this woman I work with was like, "You're never going to sleep again. You're never going to go out to dinner again. You're never whatever again." It's like all garbage. It's for every bad thing, there's like 100,000 wonderful fun things. So I'm very pro having kids, clearly.
You're so right about that. I was told the same thing. You'll never sleep again. I've never slept more in my life. I mean, because when the kids are first born, they sleep like 18 hours a day if they're not colicky, right? And then from there, all the fun things like you talk about, especially when you have young girls and they go through the princess stage, and it's just all these things and watching all these movies that you haven't watched for years. I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark with my kid last night, Indiana Jones, and that movie came out almost, I hate to say this, 45 years ago, and you become a kid again when you go through these things with them all over again, or ET or that sort of thing. Megan, let me just touch upon what you just mentioned. NBC News had a poll out 2 weeks ago, and if you voted for Kamala Harris, your number one priority, if you're female, having a job or career. Number 2, having enough money to do the things you want. Number 3, having emotional stability. 4, using your talents and resources to help others. Blah 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 blah. All the way down. By the time you get to being married, that's the 11th highest priority. Having children is the 12th highest priority, right? I mean, this is just incredible. Now, if you're male and you voted for Trump, having children is the number 1 priority, and being married is number 3. That's just incredible to me. Why? How does this get dictated politically? We talked about the AOC part, but that's just a huge divide. I can't understand it.
I just think that, again, if you're traditionally conservative, there's just a lot more emphasis on community, family, faith, and like your individual role in, helping the country and what you can do, like I just said, like within your family and your community to make the world a better place. And I think for Democrats, it's much more, they're like communists. It's like much more this like broad, amoeba of an identity. And I also think that, I think that a lot of women understand that, if you can't have kids, it's important. I know people who have had very serious fertility issues who would love to be parents who can't. And, I don't think we should group those people in with or the AOC people that we're talking about. She's running for president, allegedly. At least that's what Axios is reporting, that she's thinking about it.
Yeah.
And she's engaged, but she's unmarried and she doesn't have kids. And there's actually, don't shoot the messenger here, but there's like actual polling and data that the American public is uncomfortable having someone become president who is single or at least unmarried. So I'm interested how that plays out for her if she runs for president, if Democrats are just like, they're being married and having kids, there's just no value in it whatsoever. But there are independents and certainly conservatives in the country that are going to have questions about it. And again, make whatever like opinion you want on that. I'm just telling you what data says.
This shrimp and coconut sauce is divine. What's your secret?
Goya coconut milk.
How does it taste so good?
It's all in that real coconut flavor and that rich, creamy texture.
What about thickeners and added sugars?
None. Just smooth, coconutty goodness.
What can I make with it?
From curries to sweet treats like coconut flan, the possibilities are endless.
Goya coconut milk. Take your cooking to the next level. No question about it. Find it in the Goya section of your local grocery store. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
This is a real good story about Bronx and his dad, Ryan, real United Airlines customers.
We were returning home, and one of the flight attendants asked Bronx if he wanted to see the flight deck and meet Captain Andrew.
I got to sit in the driver's seat.
I grew up in an aviation family, and seeing Bronx kind of reminded me of myself when I was that age.
That's Andrew, a real United pilot.
These small interactions can shape a kid's future.
It felt like I was the captain.
Allowing my son to see the flight deck will stick with us forever.
That's how good leads the way.
Recently, we asked some people about sharing their New York Times accounts.
My name is Dana. I am a subscriber to the New York Times, but my husband isn't. And it would be really nice to be able to share a recipe or an article or compete with him in Wordle or Connections. Thank you.
Dana, we heard you. Introducing the New York Times Family Subscription. One subscription, up to 4 separate logins for anyone in your life. Find out more at nytimes.com/family.
And we're talking to Meghan McCain, the Meghan McCain podcast. You can get that wherever you listen to podcasts. I've been on it. I listen to it. It is beyond awesome. Citizen McCain is the official title, of course. Let's get to AOC real quick. As far as if she runs, I think she has a puncher's chance of being the nominee, right? I think it comes down to like her and Newsom. But does she have a chance? Because I saw Kamala Harris, run to the middle. She tried to portray herself as a centrist so she could win votes in Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin and Arizona and so on. But I don't see AOC doing that. I think she really owns who she is as far as, yes, let's spend trillions on fighting climate change. Yes, let's allow anybody who's illegal into this country. Yes, let's defund the police. She doesn't run for those positions. If she doesn't, I think she loses, Megyn, 51 states, which is mathematically impossible. But if she runs as a nominee, you could tell me all about energy and her youth and all that. But I think she loses in a landslide like we haven't seen since Mondale.
I just don't understand why Democrats don't care about winning. And it's like they just care more about appeasing their radical base than winning elections. And it's fascinating because they're, again, speaking of cultural differences, Republicans really get in line. When we choose a nominee, it's like, okay, that's the person. And even if we've had, ideological differences and it's not the person I wanted, this is still so much better than the left. And Democrats opt out, or they vote for Jill Stein, or they won't support their candidate, or they'll just choose a garbage candidate that clearly is terrible but gaslight themselves into thinking they're good. AOC has never passed a bill in Congress. All she does is go on social media and go to the Met Ball and apparently commit ethics complaints about going to the Met Ball. And she just is a social media influencer. She's a glorified social media influencer. And I don't put it past them that they would nominate her, because I just think, not all Democrats, but I think the Democrats in power are apocalyptically stupid. And again, go ahead and scream free Palestine and globalize the Intifada and talk about how you hate police officers and you wanted to fund them and crime is great. Go ahead, run on all that. I agree with you. And then I'm going to have a very interesting election night, calling you, having you on my show, or you on me on your show, joking about how absolutely ridiculous and insane they are. But I agree with you. But I just don't even. Granted, it's a long time until the next election is, but there is no one on their bench I'm scared of. Gavin Newsom, okay, just listen to Spencer Pratt's social media and what Gavin Newsom did after his house burned down, and then see if you think that's the type of person you think should be in charge of America. And it's just so weird to me that Democrats are so siloed that they think these are actual credible candidates in the same way that they thought Vice President Harris was a credible candidate. I can remember talking to you where I was she can't put 6 sentences together. She's there's something wrong with her. She cannot speak in normal tone the way you and I do without laughing like Pennywise in It movies or just being so uncomfortable and making a weird gaffe. And it's they just don't live in reality.
I'm using Pennywise on the air on Fox, and I'm stealing it, but I will tribute you, my friend. That's fine. I'm going to give you 15 seconds. You're a pro, all right? So when somebody gets in your IFB, they say 15 seconds. But I'm going to give you a final question because they're telling me you have to wrap. Do you like J.D. Vance as the 2028 Republican nominee as a conservative?
I do, but I also like Marco Rubio and Tulsi Gabbard. And I also like everybody. When people ask me about Trump's cabinet, I'm there's 1 or 2 people that I'm not thrilled with. But other than that, I was I love everybody, and I think everybody's doing a good job. And I'm very open I'm open to J.D. Vance. I'm open to anybody. Again, there's such just to juxtapose what we were just talking about, there's such a huge bench for Republicans. Yeah. There's so many people I would be thrilled with, but I do like Vice President Vance. I think he's very strong, and so I'm all for. But I like all these people. No matter who wins, I'm good.
Yeah, I think it's you get Rubio or Vance. You're in great shape. I'll forgive you, Megyn, because we're friends, and I appreciate you joining me. So thanks again. Congratulations on. Kid number 3, I have a feeling you're going to catch up to Rachel Campos Duffy soon. Ben Donovich, this guy's a machine.
There's no
what can
way.
I say?
There's no respectful to Rachel. I don't know how she does it. She looks like a supermodel.
Seriously.
She's made of a different breed. I think this is it. I'm 40.
All right.
So, really.
All right. You don't look a day over 29. We're going to leave it there. They're yelling at me. But Meghan McCain, Citizen McCain, get it on YouTube. Get it anywhere you get podcasts. Thanks so much, Meg. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe. Have a nice day.
You got it. This is the Joe Concha Tunnel to Towers Sunday morning show. Back with more in just a moment.
Thanks for listening. The Joe Concha Tunnel to Towers Foundation Sunday Morning Show. You can hear the Joe Concha Tunnel to Towers Foundation Sunday Morning Show. Sunday mornings at 10. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here? This Sunday is the Tunnel to Towers Foundation Walk Run, and our team is in need of your support. Right now, every dollar counts. The WABC hosts must all rally their loyal audience to participate. Go to WABCRadio.com/walk and help your favorite hosts right here at WABC and support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Go to WABCRadio.com/walk. Help WABC raise money for the amazing Tunnel to Towers Foundation Walk Run. Go to WABCRadio.com/walk.